one.
All right. Speaking of action films, wow, that's my laziest segue ever. Michael Bay has a new movie, which I think's exciting because every time, because I like Michael Bay, but I'm not into the Transformers movies. So every time he does something that's not Transformers, I'm particularly excited because I'm like, is Bay back? Is Bay back? And this one's looking all right, I think. Who should take the lead on this one? Who wants to start?
I'll start, I guess.
Okay. What do you think of Ambulance?
Michael Bay was a huge selling point because you automatically know you're going to get great action sequences, no matter how shitty any other aspects might be. So that was a huge one. But first frame, Jake Gyllenhaal's face, sold. I love anything that Jake Gyllenhaal does.
That's all you need in your life.
That's literally all I need. He is amazing, and I feel like you could give him... He could play a potato and make it so intense.
I would so watch that.
I'd watch that too.
So would I. So anyone who's listening, just honestly write it. But he's so good, and he always makes the stakes feel incredibly high for the audience all the time. So that really pulled me in. But the only thing that I feel like I would criticize about the trailer is I feel like they sort of showed the whole movie in the trailer. I think they showed too much.
Can we talk about that? Just the way this trailer is structured. I'm a bit confused. So I've only watched the first half of the trailer, it's like, it's this big action movie where these guys are gonna like rob a bank and stuff.
Yeah.
But then halfway through the trailer, it all changes and it's like it's sort of implying that most of it takes place inside an ambulance. Which so it's like, oh, okay, this is what Speed 2 should have been. That's cool.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, so I get you got to set it up, but is this how the movie's going to be? Is half of it going to be the bank and the other half's the ambulance, or have they just shown us a lot from the first act leading up to the ambulance? I don't know.
The ambulance is. I don't think it's going to be the whole thing because it's essentially they try to pull off a heist. They fuck up and they hijack the ambulance for the getaway. So the ambulance could just be in the last bit and it might mostly take place in the bank.
And if that's the case, why the fuck are you calling it ambulance?
I know.
It should be some other generic bank heist name like the bank heisters who have an ambulance. Like, I don't know.
You know what?
Unless they're throwing you off. Unless the trailer's throwing you off or something
could
like
be
that.
throwing you off.
Something
it's a lot more important than it's implied from the name or whatever.
Possible. Something that is implied in both the trailer and poster, and if blink and you'll miss it, they highlight the LA of ambulance.
Yeah, it's in Los Angeles, yeah.
I don't know if the city of Los Angeles is meant to be a character or what, or maybe they just like go, hey, it's got LA in it. That's smart.
No, it's definitely a Los Angeles. It is. Because even when you read the blurb, they mention Los Angeles like every single time. I reckon though that the title ambulance could also imply that they fucked up so bad they're gonna need an ambulance. You know what I mean? That could. Well,
they do need an ambulance. So.
Well, I mean, emotionally, physically, who knows? They're gonna need some serious
Getting those
help.
metaphors in.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, aren't we all ambulances deep down?
Yeah, that's it.
God. I do want to say one thing though that gives me a lot, like even more intrigue and hope is the writer also did one of my favorite, personally, I think most underrated shows ever made, Chuck. Ooh. So he's really, I know he's like a 4-dimensional writer. He makes
Chuck.
every character so deep. And
is Chuck the one about the taxi?
No, it's got
Who drives a taxi? No,
it's got that guy from Shazam. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, yes. I'm trying to remember his name as well, actually. Oh shit! It's on the tip of my tongue.
It's
got Yvonne. I'm gonna butcher her name. Yvonne Strahovski. Or
yeah, no, he's
Aussie
so
chick.
Chuck is about this guy who's employed by the CIA to do these secret missions, but they use his brain to download information. It's really good.
Is that Chuck 2.0? Is that what it's called? No,
Not
it's not,
2.0.
no. There's another show
No.
called something 2.0. It was Ethan.
It's a
2.0,
spy
I think.
show. It's a spy show
Okay,
essentially.
I get
But
you.
it's really emotional. It would make anyone cry, I promise. Like it's really amazing. So we'll see how it goes. with
Zachary
Ambulance.
Levi.
Yeah,
Zachary
that's
Levi.
it. Zachary Levi.
There you go. Jesse, do you have any other major takeaways about the Ambulance trailer?
It looked really interesting. But I'd have to agree with Adrian. It did look like it gave a lot away. But again, Jake Gyllenhaal is a big selling point because I'll always watch something with Jake Gyllenhaal in it. Yeah, I mean, as the trailer kind of progressed and we had more shots of exploding cars, I'm like, oh yeah, this is Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about right. Because like I really, out of all the Michael Bay films, I actually haven't seen many of his movies. Like I saw the first 3 Transformers, and we all know what happened there.
Yeah.
I remember I saw the third Transformers. I ended up getting headaches, and I'm like, well, that was a piece of trash, and it made me feel like shit. And then I saw Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
Did you guys see
Yeah.
Pain and Gain?
Oh, like when it came out, it's been a while.
Pain and
Yeah.
Gain is, I think, the only, besides the shitty Transformers films, I think it's the only one I haven't seen, but it's the one I really do want to, I think about like at least once a month, I say to myself, I should watch Pain and Gain. I reckon I would really like Pain and Gain. That movie would be really good. And I just never end up watching it.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll see it. But dude, if you haven't seen the first 2 Bad Boys, they're really good. And The Rock.
I've never actually seen those movies.
You
so-
should. They're really good. They're iconic.
Also, The Rock is an all-time action classic. Pretty much everything before Transformers is really good.
I like 1 and 2. I'm really sorry, guys, but I do like Transformers 1 and 2.
Look, a lot of people
one's
do.
one's
but
okay. One is all right.
It's
It's,
funny as
serviceable.
hell.
It's all right.
I really liked
But
it.
then
for
yeah,
me, I don't like the character design. Actually, I should take it back. I do really like, but I don't think Bay did it. But I really love Bumblebee.
I
Bumblebee
love Bumblebee.
is everything. Bumblebee is everything I wanted the
Mm-hmm.
Transformers movies to be in terms of like design of them. Like they're not too overly complex. I thought the story. It felt very Spielberg. It was
Yeah.
basically E.T. but with like robot cars,
Nailed
and it's
it.
like that's amazing. I'll watch that. I'll tell you something else. I want to compare this to because it reminds me a little bit of one of his more recent films, Six Underground, which is on Netflix. Although I thought Six Underground was a bit disappointing. It had some amazing set pieces, but the characters, they just weren't there. And like
that was with
Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds,
Reynolds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, Ryan Reynolds was being Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah.
but you need more than just Ryan Reynolds, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like, and like the story was just so bland and generic. It was like, it felt like Bay was kind of like, I want to do an awesome scene in this location, beautiful location of car action scenes. But I feel like everything else was like, what's the story? We'll figure it out. You know?
Also, I
But
have
Ambulance,
Just-
let me just quickly finish this.
Yeah.
Ambulance, I think, fixes that problem. You've got great actor. I know we talked about Jake Gyllenhaal, but Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, he is amazing in everything he does. I said this, I think, last episode. I stan him. He's great. But this concept, yeah, it's another generic bank heist thing. But then you get to the ambulance stuff, and like I said, it's what Speed 2 should have been. It's like, I actually hope the film focuses more on the ambulance because that is more unique to me. And I've seen enough bank heist movies. So I'm hoping, because the visuals and the action feels like Six Underground, but the plot feels a lot more interesting. And I like the actors more, I think. So I'm hoping this is a cocktail for a really good action flick. Sorry, Eddie, continue. What were you gonna say?
I'm pretty sure it's a bank, by the way. I haven't confirmed if it is, but from what I saw, I thought it was inside a bank.
Oh, so it might not be a bank.
It might not be, but I think it is. I have a feeling it is. If
I was
it's
gonna
not,
say,
it's probably like a
I
hotel, but
If
heist.
it's a bank robbery film,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say if it's a bank robbery film, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I've made a bank robbery film.
Yes. Yes, you have.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is. Heist implies it's a place with, a lot of money.
You can heist for information. You can heist for jewels and diamonds and other stuff, I guess. But yeah, ambulance. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see how that goes.